The 2024 Governance Performance Index report by Good Governance Africa is now out. The report looks at the performance of municipalities in various categories, including service delivery and governance. Some of the municipalities that have been ranked at the top in some categories include Cape Town and Ekurhuleni. Joining us to tell us more about the Governance Performance Index is Stuart Morrison from Good Governance Africa. Good afternoon, Stuart. Thanks very much for your time. The index your organization claims provides, and I quote, the most accurate publicly available portrait of the state of local government in South Africa, close quote. That's a very bold claim to make.
Good afternoon, and thank you for this opportunity. So, yes, the GPI is a tool that effectively assesses the functionality of municipalities. And so we say this because we use a lot of different publicly available data to create the GPI. And so we're able to dig a little deeper into some of these reports, and that allows us to make a more comprehensive view of what municipal performance is like.
Now, you say in the shall I call it forward, to the background to the report, that this report comes at a time when, and I quote again, South Africa's system of local government is presently undergoing its most widespread sequences of changes. Isn't that a bit of an understatement, though, given people's very real and lived experiences, throughout the country?
So I think the changes that are being referred to is more so around the structure of the municipality system that currently exists in South Africa. And so, yes, across the country there are a lot of issues that people experience on a daily basis, and a lot of that ties into how their municipality is performing. But I think there are a lot of big changes that are happening in terms of the system and how it actually works on a municipal level.
Of course, I was asking those questions precisely because the South African Local Government Association, which is an association of local government practitioners themselves, talks about political instability. It talks about 66 at least of the country's 257 municipalities being dysfunctional. And so in that context, aren't we dealing with more really of a crisis than anything else?
So I think because the GPI assesses municipal functionality according to what is laid out in the Constitution, we specifically look at the roles and responsibilities that are accorded to municipalities to actually address and that deal with. So, for example, we look at things like the blue drop, green drop reports and no drop reports, and that helps to give us an insight into what water access is like and the quality of that water.
So what would you say then, for you, were probably the most notable findings?
So one thing that really stands out is that we found that history really does play a big role in what determines municipal performance. And so you might see that some of the top performing municipalities are in the Western Cape. But this also relates to the fact that the Western Cape did not have any former homeland areas. And this does play a big role. And so what's quite interesting is that we see that there's still quite a lot of systemic issues that influence the performance of municipalities.
Okay. I can hear someone saying, well, politicians would love to hear that because it's in line with those who have not performed as well as they should have. It gives them, it empowers them or gives them ammunition to then say, blame it on apartheid.
So I think that, yes, there are a number of different factors that actually influence a municipal performance. So one, of course, is history, but there are also more current things that also influence. And that is what we look at with the different categories of the GPI, like administration and governance and leadership and management. But I think for the most part, the GPI report exists as an independent tool that can be used by all spheres of society. And the goal is to not only to empower citizens, to get them to know more about what is happening in their municipalities, but it's also to be able to encourage different spheres of society to work together, because these issues are not necessarily just a one-sided issue and require different segments of society to come together and work together to address them.
Very briefly, Stuart, what are those that are getting it right in certain or many areas doing that those who are dismal aren't doing?
Sure. So I think one of the biggest things that we found in some of our research is that planning, monitoring and evaluation systems are actually quite underestimated sometimes in the role that it plays in being able to effectively deliver services, in able to effectively implement development policies and things like that. And so I think what you tend to see in municipalities that do better is that they tend to have systems that encourage monitoring and evaluation within the local municipality. And that is something that I think more municipalities can be doing more of.
Stuart Morrison, let me thank you for your time. He is from Good Governance Africa, an organization that has published or that publishes an annual governance performance index, which they say provides the most accurate portrait of the state of local government in our country.